माननीय श्री एडी सिंह जी 7 मिनट।
India is facing the challenge of falling into a middle income trap, which refers to the stagnation that many countries experience when trying to transition from middle income to high income status. According to the World Bank 2024 report, India's economic growth is slow significantly, and at the current pace, it may take up to 75 years for the country to reach just one quarter of the per capita income of US. Several structural and external factors make this transition difficult for India. Middle income trap means top 20% live in luxury, below 80% live in poverty, malnutrition, poor education, high crime, etc. At present, India is having a per capita income of 2,500 US. America's per capita is 81,600 USD. To become a high-income country, we need 14,000 USD. To overcome these challenges, India needs to shift from traditional investment-focused policy towards fostering innovation. The World Bank highlights the importance of the 3I approach, combining investment, infusion of global technologies, and innovation to enable sustainable economic growth. India must focus on research and development, promote startups, and encourage tech-driven industry. The task ahead is complex given global uncertainty and domestic economic hurdles. However, with policy shift towards high-value sectors and enhanced innovation, India has the potential to accelerate its progress beyond the middle income threshold. एक चीज मुझे समझ में नहीं आती है कि बिना सेंसस के आंकड़े के नहीं रहने के बावजूद भी अजम्पशन पर सारी पॉलिसी बन रही है। और अगर सेंसस टाइम से होता तो हमें पता चलता कि हमारी पोजीशन हेल्थ सेक्टर में क्या है। माननीय हेल्थ मिनिस्टर बोलते हैं कि वी हैव अ वेरी रोबस्ट हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, which I do not agree, and I'm sure most of my colleagues who have interaction with the health sector will agree with the same. And सेंसस में हमें पता चल जाता कि कितने लोगों की मृत्यु हुई है, हेल्थ का सेक्टर, हेल्थ में क्या त्रुटियां हैं, और डेटा मिलता और एजुकेशन का भी मिलता। अब हम ये जानना चाहते हैं कि हम स्वस्थ भारत या पढ़ा लिखा भारत के लिए क्या करना चाह रहे हैं। डेटा नहीं है, बिल्कुल नहीं। Many of the South Asian countries got independence around the same time when India got independence. However, the Southeast Asian country invested a lot of money in health and education of the masses, whereas in India, not much expenditure was incurred on education and health. In education, the expenditure never exceeded 3.8% of the GDP, whereas some Southeast Asian countries spending 10% of the GDP on education. In the health sector, we never crossed the expenditure 1.3 of GDP. We should have actually spent 3%. तो आज के दिन ना भारत स्वस्थ है, ना भारत पढ़ा लिखा है। एक तरफ हम बोलते हैं कि वी हैव द लार्जेस्ट डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड, बट वी डोंट इवन हैव सेमी स्किल्ड वर्कर्स आल्सो। इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ की तो हम सोचते ही नहीं है। The growth model should take everybody along it. There should not be any disparity. However, in India, the disparity is rising. There are two sectors. One is the organized sector, and the other is the unorganized sector, which employs 6% and 94% of the workforce, respectively. There is nobody to workforce. The government, public sector, as well as the industry, they are all focusing on the organized sector, which contributes 6% of the workforce. Unless and until we uplift this 94% workforce on manufacturing, demands are not going to rise. और मुझे लगता है कि जो इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसीज बनती है वो आइदर बॉम्बे क्लब इन्फ्लुएंस करता है, and who make this policy? Major industries, Bombay Group, IS Babus, and friendly influencer in the media, they determine the economy policy as per the no, this is the truth. This is the truth. Yes. The economy policy is not to benefit you and me. It is to benefit the Bombay Club. Yes. It's very simple. And let me tell you, it was the same during UPA time. It is same in their time. I'm not making that we were UPA time was very good, and this time is. Let him listen. How does it matter? The fact is the fact.
He was in UP.
Unlike the West, which has now all but turned into its back on globalization, India stands to benefit from welcoming both trade and investment flows. The high GDP growth that the country witnessed during the mid-2000s was facilitated by higher exports and FDI. The government would do well to move forward on this. We have to review our economic relations with China by facilitating investment by Chinese firms with domestic partners. On the GST, the 55th GST Council had now recommended a retrospective tax amendment to nullify a recent Supreme Court judgment and would have resulted in granting input tax credit to warehouses and infrastructure projects. The proposed retrospective amendment is from July 1, 2017. What is retrograde is that the message being sent to the business world. We will first deny you relief, and if you still fight up for several years and up to the Supreme Court and succeed, we will simply reduce the judgment to a nullity by retrospective amendment. If we win in court, fine. If we lose, we will still win by retrospective amendment. The GST department may succeed recovering a few additional crores by GST by the amendment, but the collateral damage to India's reputation as an investment destination is staggering. Apart from disrespecting your own Supreme Court, the message conveyed to is the absence of rule of law. More than 70 countries in the world having GST have only 2 taxation slabs. We are having 5 slabs. High GST is imposed on items of daily use by common man. Besides, there are incidents of fake entities who have fraudulently withdrawing crores of rupees. GST is being paid by people who earn daily wages as well as.
कृपया समाप्त करें।
अच्छा, ये अभी सरकार ने इनकम टैक्स में बहुत रिलीफ दिया, बट कॉमन मैन को रिलीफ देने के लिए आपको जीएसटी काफी कम करना पड़ेगा। यहाँ तो स्लैब इतना ज्यादा है कि basically a very small section has got the benefit of tax. Majority, whether you are a billionaire or a worker, pays the same GST when they buy anything. So GST has to be rationalized, and for that I will urge the Honourable Finance Minister to have a deeper look in this matter. Thank you.
माननीय डॉक्टर जॉन ब्रिटास 7 मिनट।
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ma'am, I will put this preamble, inverted comma, longs for criticism and also believe criticism is the soul of the democracy. Vaikoji, you know who said it? None other than the Prime Minister to the podcaster Lex Friedman. But nowadays, they never criticize it. So it's the responsibility of the opposition to make it very clear what's actually happening in this country. My friend A.D. Singh was saying that the financial policy of this country is being made by the Bombay Club. I don't know whether it is